Hey guys, it is Amy with Work Hard, Eat Kind, and today I wanted to talk to you guys. Small disclaimer, I've been running, so I am out of breath, and it's hot. It is hot. So I wanted to talk to you guys because I did receive a little bit of hate from the I'm not fully vegan video, and I said a lot of things like, oh my god, you're so fat. How can you speak working hard? Isn't that kind of ironic? Because you're fat. So guys, yes, I know I'm fat. I got it. I have plenty of fat on my body. And I want to tell those haters out there that that doesn't bother me. Like, that's obvious. Come up with something more creative, please. So I want to talk to you guys about running. Yes, at 295 pounds, I can run. I'm also 5'10" though, guys, so I'm extremely tall. Other people that are this weight might not be able to do what I can. I also build muscle incredibly fast. I don't know what it is, but my strength gains can gain 1,000 times faster than my cardio gains. So I wanted to talk to you guys about how I got started running. Initially, I was just running as far as I thought I could until basically breakdown. But that left me hurting in my chest. It left me hurting in my body. And the thing about it is like our chiropractor, he actually said, don't jog. It actually breaks up the alignment in your body and it's very bad for you because of the impact. Running is a smoother way to try to get your cardio workout in, or walking because it's gentler on the alignment of the body. So sometimes it's totally okay to just take a slow pace and walk gently. Sometimes you need that. Maybe that's where you're starting. Maybe you can't do 2 miles like me. I was pretty proud of myself, guys, because I know the mark all the way back around to the highway, back to my house, is 2 miles. And I didn't know if I'd be able to do that with my ankle or my hip. So I actually filmed and recorded on that side of the street. And now I'm recording on this side of the street because I made it 2 miles. Well, I mean, I'm not all the way home yet, but I'm confident that I'm going to make it. If you're like me, and sometimes you feel like walking is just not enough, and you're ready to take that next step to running, I've gotten plenty of advice from my friends at CrossFit. I've gotten plenty of advice from the internet, and here's what I find works for me. Now, you might find something different. Do your own research, experiment, but here's what works for me. A, if you have a buddy that's better at running than you, try to use them. Try to get them to come out with you. That way they can give you pointers. There was, and I believe I actually did a video on it, and I'll try to link it up here somewhere, right here, so that you guys can see that video. But it was a day in CrossFit where we're doing a mile run. And of course I was upset because running is not my strong suit. And I sometimes always felt like, why do they always give me the hardest ones? I always show up on the worst possible days because I hate running. But they gave me a lot of tips and they helped me through it and they pushed me through it, and I realized I can run. And then I got back to the parking lot where we were at for the CrossFit gym, and my coach saw me actually running. I was trying to finish strong, and he's like, look at you. There's a whole nother gear there that I didn't know was there. There's so much untapped potential. And I really appreciated that. Because today, after not having run for a year, after having to deal with Rocky Mountain spotted fever, antibiotics, I got strep really bad this year to where I had a 102-degree fever. I was working. I went through depression, anxiety, panic attacks really bad. I was going through a separation. We've actually decided to try to work that out, which is great, but it's working through all those things. And you kind of forget. That's why I did the box jumps. Another video I'll link for you guys. You need to remind yourself that you're capable and you are good enough, even if you're not ready for full-on running like me. So my second tip for starting running is to start slow. I like to make sure that I have a distance. So in this part of our road, we don't really have them. But if you have telephone poles lining your road, one length between them, run. The next length, that's what I was doing back there, because the road over actually has telephone poles. But go ahead and do that. Run one, then walk one, catch your breath. Then run another one, then catch your breath. You can even do that here. Even if you don't, just kind of maybe count. Say you're gonna do 50 steps running. Count them. Then do 50 resting. And work your way up. Next time, maybe you'll do a telephone pole length and a half. And then you'll rest for a telephone length, or the rest of the telephone length. And then do a telephone length and a half. Try to lengthen the time that you're running and shorten the rest time. There's people behind me. Next thing that I want to recommend is just try. Just keep trying, guys. If you fail, just keep doing it. Because sometimes you forget, and sometimes you need motivation. And I think it's the days that we need motivation the most that we really need to try and do something challenging. You know, don't take it easy sometimes. If you really need the motivation, do something that scares you. Sorry guys, I wanted to let those guys pass so they didn't end up in the video. Hopefully they're not behind me when I go to edit. Anyway, I did the 2 miles back home. Thank goodness. So to finish off, my next tip is to make sure that you stretch. I actually sit on my steps and I kind of put my feet up on the highest step and then I scoot forward. So it's kind of like an assisted squat. It just kind of helps you open the hips a little bit. It stretches your hips a little bit. It feels really, really good. There's plenty of other stretches you can do, and I'm sure you can look it up online. Next thing I do is I make sure that I sit outside until I'm good and cooled off before I go into the air conditioning. And lastly, I drink lots and lots and lots and lots of water. We have to remember to rehydrate after we have been sweating and losing all of our water. We've got to remember to put it back in. And so I will probably go in and probably try to down at least 24 to 35 ounces of water. My goal is usually trying to get a liter in because one of my biggest problems is trying to stay hydrated. Even though water is about the only thing I drink, it still is an issue.